Hey everybody, welcome to week 19. There's been a little bit of a change this week. No Steve Field, but it's okay. You've got Dennis Davis in the safety department. And you're going to have the usual cast of characters. You're going to have Robert and Steve that's going to talk to us a little bit about what's going right with this company. You've got Jason Seymour that's going to come in and give us some tips on how to survive this whole pandemic. And then I'm going to come back at the very end to wish you well.
Hi folks, I'm Robert Lowe. Good to talk to you again. This is week 19 and man, oh man, it's going by fast, isn't it? We're all anxious to get back in the office, but we're going to be very cautious in doing that. The number one objective here is your safety and health, and that of your parents and grandparents and grandchildren and children. We want to keep everyone safe, and of course, our in-house folks as well. I think we've done a good job, but it's an ongoing battle. Wear your doggone mask, folks. Wear your doggone mask. When you're around people, wear that mask. You can't completely stop it, perhaps, but it can help. And we're just all about adding layers of protection, whether it's distancing, sanitizing, or wearing these masks. It's all about adding layers of protection. Again, freight is good. We're rocking and rolling. We're doing some things. We're shaking and baking in the marketplace. I think you can look forward to a really good late summer and fall freight season. We're getting lots of calls. I think that we're putting our competition to shame. Our shippers are proud of us. They're proud of the job, and they thank you for the job. And I thank you for the job that you all are doing out there, really keeping us leading the pack in virtually every metric that our customers measure, whether it's on-time delivery, quality of driver, quality of equipment, the whole range of things that they judge us on. We're performing very, very well. So I thank you. Please be safe. This thing isn't over, may not be over for a while. Again, we're going to proceed cautiously with our opening back up in our terminals. We're going to continue to be vigilant and safe. So again, thank you for what you do. Talk to you next week.
Good afternoon, all prime drivers. Nice to see you again. We're in the terminal today, got a little rain, can't do it outside, so it's good to talk to you. I'll just touch on a couple of things that I think are relevant to your business model. First and foremost, business is really strong. We don't see anything changing in that area. We look at the miles per unit, earnings per unit are doing very, very well. That's on the reefer side for sure. I think really tanker can say the same. Flatbed might be flat, but doing very well also. We see our driver turnover maintaining, which would indicate to us that people are still making a good living and are content with our approach to the business out there in the industry. The COVID-19 thing, we can't change it. We inherited it as it is. We didn't create it, but we got to live with it. Now, we've been down this road before with other issues, whether they're economic downturns, situations like 9/11, hurricanes, one thing and another. We always rebound and come back very strong. So please keep that in mind as we work our way through the COVID-19 epidemic. We feel good about what we're doing. We feel good about our operators masking up and sanitizing and protecting themselves and their families. That's what we have to continue to do. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of masking up around people, but I do it because I think that's the right thing to do. Over time, maybe we'll find some solutions that will make life easier for us all. In the meantime, safety is our highest calling. Protect yourself. Also, protect the motoring public, please. That's your professional responsibility. And by the way, I will tell you we're doing a very good job of that. Our numbers continue to be good. So thank you very much for all you're doing. One more thing. please check the information on your loads, on your Qualcomm versus your bills of lading. Make sure that you do in fact have the right information, the right temperature set, the right origin, and the right destination. Count it on and count it off. Protect yourself. Those are real dollars that we can lose if we're not doing our job very effectively. Look forward to seeing you one of these days. Thank you very much, and appreciate your interest in these videos. It seems like we get a lot of good feedback. We'll continue to do them. Andrea does a terrific job getting it all going for us, and we need to thank her when we can. So thanks to all of you. Be safe, and we'll talk to you next week.
Hey Flatbedders, this is Brian Brown. Wanted to come back to you again this week and talk to you a little bit. Today I want to talk a little bit about a few kinds of safety. We have had a few incidents out on the road this past week, and I just want to remind everybody, please be safe out there and slow down in those cloverleaf turns especially, or at intersections. You know, sometimes on the flatbed side we've got loads that are a little bit top heavy, and as you all know, slowing down, you know, reducing that speed in the curves and those cloverleafs especially definitely help us avoid any kind of rollover situations that we might be at risk of. So keep that in mind as you haul some of those aluminum coils or taller loads. We really need to slow down if you're making a turn or getting off on an exit or onto an exit. Another kind of safety I want to talk about, securement. Had another issue this week, which we haven't had in quite some time. In fact, I don't recall an issue like this, but I just want to remind everybody, when you do secure your loads before you depart from the shipper, make sure that you double and triple check everything. You know, there's nothing worse than us getting out on the highway and potentially having some product come off of our trailer and injuring someone, or doing some, you know, damage to property or things like that. Luckily, the incident we had this past week did not result in anyone getting injured, but we had someone that just overlooked securement devices on their load and took off from the shipper, and we had some product fall off of a trailer. Luckily it fell into a ditch and didn't hit anyone. So just double and triple check before you leave those shippers, and make sure, and again, you know, stop periodically when you're out there on the road, check those straps, make sure they're tight, make sure everything still looks good. You know, when you get a couple miles down the road, stop and check again, and then check periodically every time you can. Very important. We just want to keep the public out there very safe, and you guys do an amazing job. This is extremely rare, but just a reminder. Another thing I want to remind you of, stay hydrated out there. We still have a lot of heat going on. Make sure that you're staying hydrated and keeping cool, taking breaks when you're out there, securing and tarping. Very important that you continue to do that. Lastly, I want to touch on COVID. You know, lately there's been a lot of spikes around the country. You guys have done a great job keeping yourselves healthy and keeping the people around you healthy. Just continue to do those good practices. As you arrive at the shipper, comply with what they're asking you to do. Comply at the receivers. Make sure you keep that distance. You know, we're strong believers in masks here at Prime, so please continue to follow those practices and keep yourselves and others safe. You guys have done a great job, and this and all the others that I mentioned, you guys have done great in all these areas. We just need to stay sharp and make sure that we're keeping you guys and everyone around you safe. So freight's strong, things are really good. Again, just want to ask you to consider recruiting people while you're out there. If you know people that would be good drivers, please send them to Prime Flatbed. If you've got an opportunity to team up, again, we need more teams desperately. That's one of our main selling points. We have more teams than anyone out there, and that really helps us to get more freight. So appreciate what you guys do. We're going to keep pushing forward on the freight, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Good Wednesday afternoon to you. My name is Brett Von Willer. I work up in tanker operations. Once again, I wanted to come to you and just give you an update on the business situation we have, and let you know how things are going. I want to assure you that our salespeople are calling every single day, talking to our customers, getting close to our customers every day. They're emailing, they're calling, booking freight. On top of that, Landon Warner, our outside salesman, and myself are doing Zoom calls, doing lifestyle calls, getting in front of them, having video conferencing for happy hours, talking to these people that are in the corporate offices, getting the forecast. With that, I want to assure you that the forecast is positive. I've spoke to our major shipper in New Jersey yesterday. I spoke to our major shipper in Savannah today. They both assured me that through the end of the year, it is not slowing down. So I appreciate what you guys are doing out there. Stay safe so you can keep hauling our freight for us. Do what you do best, and that's deliver on time. I appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Jim Guthrie in the Reefer Operations Department. Giving you a quick update this week. As those of you in the Reefer Division know, freight is really strong, so it's a really good time to make yourself available. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay out, making some good money. Freight demand is really strong for this time of the year. The trends are going in the right direction, so lots of opportunity. With that opportunity brings more opportunity, so if you have, we have a great referral program. If you have folks that are needing work, we've got, great opportunities all around. So it's a great time to get into the industry. We got lots of opportunities and ways that we can help people get into the Prime family and into a career here. So definitely reach out to your fleet manager, reach out to recruiters if you have anybody that you know that might be interested. Other topic that's come up recently is the upgrades. We do have delivery of new trucks coming now. We were slow for a while back in May, June, and even into July, but the trucks are starting to come in, so we have the availability to upgrade some more people this week and next week, and that upgrade availability list is starting to shrink. So as you guys are getting and gals are getting ready to have the opportunity to upgrade, we do have some additional trucks available. So I wanted to let everybody know that you can communicate with your fleet manager and see where your status is, but we should be able over the next few weeks to get those eligible and ready to upgrade into those trucks. The other thing is we have a great company team program, and if you recall, you can at the 30,000 mile mark, you can get into a company truck with another A seat and run team. We have folks making $1,800 a week in that program and more. So there's a lot of opportunity there to really make good money and run and get some more miles under your belt as a company team. So don't forget about that option as well. In this marketplace, whenever the freight market picks up, these teams are extremely valuable to all of our customers. So there's a lot of opportunity to train, to get into trucks with other A seats as teams. So there's always an option out there to do that if that's something that may fit what you're looking for. So continue this. We're into a period where this virus is continuing to increase around the country. So we've had a lot of success with our drivers and not contracting it out on the road. It's a testament to all of you out there that have done a great job, following the precautions and taking care of yourselves. So don't let up. Be vigilant. All these precautionary measures that Jason spoke about, Dr. Abraham speaks about. Don't let up because we're doing well, but we want to stay vigilant so that we don't have an outbreak and we can make it through this and continue to service our customers. So everybody's doing a terrific job. Really appreciate all you're doing out there. Please continue to be safe. Continue to stay healthy. Appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Hey everybody, Jason Seymour in Reefer Operations. Just want to give everybody an update on where we're at with our COVID protocols and procedures. We're at 53 drivers that have tested positive. That's up a couple from last week. I can tell you that the activity is still very high with drivers getting sick and needing some medical attention, getting tested out on the road. So it's important that you continue to stay focused and vigilant in keeping yourself safe out there on the road and while you're at home with your families. Again, just to reiterate, if you need help, the first step is to call your fleet manager, notify your fleet manager. There is a process that we go through that notifies our folks at Trinity Healthcare that can assist in determining, do you need a test, where should you get tested at, so that we can ensure that we are reacting very quickly to help protect your health and personal safety. I also want to take a minute to talk about our return to work protocols. There's been a lot of talk about this recently. The more that we get into this, we're starting to see some different protocols, from some of the hospitals and even what the CDC recommendations are. Our protocol from the very beginning has been that we are going to require a negative test prior to allowing you to return to work, whether you be a driver or an in-house associate. We will obtain a negative test. And the reason for that is there's really only one way that we can know that you don't have the virus and you are not contagious, and that is to obtain a negative test. We have many circumstances where we've had a driver test positive, and they've gone past that 10 or 14 days that the CDC recommends, and they're still testing positive. And the thing is, the science really doesn't know whether you're still contagious at that point or not. So we feel very comfortable, we feel very strongly that we have the correct protocols in place to ensure that we continue to protect everybody in the Prime family, and that again is to obtain a negative test. Now, the farther we get into this, we have seen some situations where drivers have had trouble going back to get a negative test, and the clinic or hospital or whatever testing site has stated that we don't do negative tests. You tested positive, and we say you're good after 14 days. 14 days from your first symptom, 72 hours fever-free with no Tylenol or ibuprofen or anything like that, and we say you can go back to work. So if you run into those situations, again, reach out to us. We have ability to help get some testing. I mean, it is in Springfield, but I believe our testing protocol and our return to work protocol is absolutely the right thing to do to ensure that we're not just spreading this back around and forth to everybody. So I just want to answer some questions on that. If you have questions, reach out to your fleet manager. You can reach out to me anytime. I'll be glad to chat with you and discuss it. Other than that, thanks for everything you're doing. Keep yourself safe. This really all just circles back to where we were at the very beginning. Our best defense against the coronavirus is social distancing, wearing these masks, and good hygiene, whether it be washing your hands, not touching your face, those kind of things. That's how this is spreading amongst groups of people. Keep your, self-isolate in the truck as much as you can. Keep your social distancing. When you do have to get out of the truck, please make sure you're wearing your mask, and please make sure that you're washing your hands as frequently as you can and using that sanitizer. And we're going to come through this in good shape. Thanks for everything you do. Holler if you have questions.
We are seeing more and more people get the typical allergy type symptoms that they may mistake for just allergies, and lo and behold ends up being COVID. So if you are starting to feel symptomatic, report to your manager, let them know, let them take you through the evaluation through the proper channels, so we make sure we're not bringing any infected individuals into the terminals. And as always, we do have the ability to test here. It is still the nasal swab, but we do get same day results, which is great. We do have access to the saliva test. The only drawback to that, it is a little more time consuming, just because of the fact that they have to ship it to you and then you ship it back to them, and once they get it, it takes 24 to 48 hours to get the results back. But that is available, so if you are interested in that or would like to have that done, reach out to our office and we can get you set up for that. As far as vaccines, we hope to see one. I suspect by the end of this year, early part of next year, we'll see a vaccine, if not sooner. But we see the trials going on, and they're definitely fast tracking things to get it out there, so we can get ahead of the virus, hopefully. As we continue to get see people are infected or get a vaccine out there, it is going to increase our numbers to get us closer to that point of having herd immunity. We have not seen much in the way of treatments or new treatments coming up. Remdesivir is still out there, and it seems to show some promise, but that is a hospital-based medication that is administered through IVs. As we've talked about before, supplements like zinc, vitamin D, not a bad idea to start taking just to keep your immune system up and help hopefully keep you strong enough to fight things off. But aside from that, the biggest thing we can do is continue to practice that social distancing. Summer is here. People are starting to get out more and travel more. My advice to you, there's a lot of no's, don't do this, don't do that out there. But there are ways to work around it. For example, summer travels. If you can drive, that's fantastic. Try to avoid the airfare and the airplane situations. But as much as you can. Try to do outdoor activities. Hiking is great. We're seeing a lot of people going to Colorado. Just make sure, get out there, get some fresh air. If you are going out to eat, try and get outside seating and make sure it is, distant from other tables. You're not back to back with another table. The other thing we want to do is, as I said, make sure we mask. And, it is still a hot topic out there, and people, there's a lot of discussion about it. But, we learned this back in kindergarten. Cover your mouth when you sneeze or cough. It's same concept here. So wearing a mask is going to be that much harder than that. So again, let's try and do what we can and stay safe out there. And if you need anything, by all means, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks again for tuning in this week. Please like, subscribe, and always, we love your feedback. So please comment below. See you next week.